Hi, I'm Kate from the Small Things blog. Today I'm going to do my December frequently asked question video. So these are questions that I've grabbed from the Facebook fan page. You can find it at the Small Things blog if you search on Facebook. And I post about once a month that I'm taking questions for these FAQ videos, so I just grab a few that I think a lot of you would benefit the answers to, so I wish I could answer every single one of them, but I just don't have the time for that right now, so I try and pick the ones that most of you may kind of had repeat questions, or it's something that maybe everyone has kind of thought about at some point in time. So if you have questions, be sure to check the FAQ page, because as I'm scanning through these questions from the Facebook posts, a lot of them are answered on my FAQ page, and they're also answered in previous FAQ videos, so be sure to check those out too. I'll include a link at the bottom of this post. The first one we're going to cover is static electricity. I saw a handful of questions asking how to deal with static electricity in the winter. And it depends a lot on where you live, so it seems like the more north you live with the less humidity, the more static your hair is prone to be. But there are some people that just have a texture that's more prone to static electricity no matter where they live. So I'm currently living in the South. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I have some clients that just have static hair at random times during the year, and then I remember from childhood growing up in Illinois that it would be static all winter because it was so dry there. So there's not a lot you can do about it if your hair's prone to static electricity, but if it's a climate thing, good thing is you only have to deal with it for a certain part of the year. But the best thing that I have found to combat static electricity is to get a can of Static Guard. You can Google this. It's typically used when you're wearing nylons and maybe a silky dress, and if your dress clings to your nylons, it's this aerosol spray that smells terrible. It's like the strongest chemical smell. And you spray it on your nylons or on the inside of your dress, and it keeps the dress from clinging. So it kind of cuts the static electricity. You can use it with pet hair and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it doesn't say on the can to use it on the hair. I wouldn't recommend spraying it directly on the hair, mostly because it smells terrible. But what I like to do is spray it on my hairbrush and then kind of wave my brush a little bit, kind of to air it out a little, and then brush it right through my hair. So if you've styled your hair for the day, maybe spray a little bit of this on your hands and just rake your fingers through it if you don't brush through your hair. But the best time to do this would be after you've blown it dry, before you've heat styled it, so you can really brush it in there and get it to where you have no static electricity left. Another way to combat static electricity is to have well-conditioned hair. Oftentimes, a dry climate plus dry hair makes for a lot of kind of flyaways, hair's just floating around. So if your hair is really well moisturized, that's going to give it the weight and kind of nourishment it needs. So it's not going to be as prone to just kind of sticking out everywhere. So deep conditioner, a leave-in treatment, that kind of stuff, it may be counterintuitive, but kind of the more heavy your hair is with product, not weighed down, but sort of heavy and nourished your hair is, the less likely it's going to be to fly all around. The second question is how to deal with dry scalp in the winter. So this is kind of a part two of the static electricity. I saw a lot of these questions asked a few different times. So I personally struggle with psoriasis all over my scalp, so it's in various patches. At any given time, I could kind of scratch my scalp if it itched somewhere, and I would have just a pile of flakes. Sorry if that grosses you out. Psoriasis is just dry, irritated areas. It's not a cleanliness thing at all. It's just kind of a skin condition. My dad has it. My sister struggles with it. My brother. It happened. In a way, I'm glad it's on my scalp because it's hidden, but it makes wearing black t-shirts really difficult because no matter where I move, if any of that skin is loosened up from my scalp, it will sit right here on my shoulders. Anyway, so I know the feeling of dealing with a dry scalp, and it's frustrating and it's itchy. Psoriasis or not, having a dry scalp is itchy. So the best thing you can do is, if it's something that's persistent and you just can't find a chemical product, whether that's a shampoo or conditioner, to help it, I would go see your doctor and see if they can recommend something to you. But if you think it's just a seasonal thing, when you're applying conditioner, oftentimes, I don't even recommend this, a lot of times, people don't put conditioner right on their roots. Most of the time they don't need it because your scalp is producing enough oil for sort of your root and new growth area. But if you're dealing with a dry scalp, obviously your scalp is not producing enough oil. Therefore, you can go ahead and put your conditioner right on your scalp and make it a point to kind of rub it in. Give yourself a little bit of a head massage when you're in the shower or taking a bath, because the more you can kind of condition your scalp, the better. And then it'll sort of in the long run reset your scalp so where it doesn't feel like it needs to overproduce oil, because it'll be well conditioned. So you can treat this skin on your head just like you would skin on the rest of your body. So if it's dry, put lotion on it. Instead of lotion, use conditioner, because it won't be as greasy or look like, you know, you put lotion all over your hair and then it's all greasy and not meant for the hair. So try putting conditioner right on your scalp. I bet you'd be surprised how nice your hair feels and how it doesn't end up weighing your hair down in the long run too. So if you don't trust me, do it on a Saturday, maybe where it doesn't matter if your hair is a little bit greasier than usual, but I think you'll probably be in a good place if you go ahead and condition your scalp, maybe just a couple times a week. The third question is how to keep your hair from knotting up or getting messed up when you wear a scarf around your neck. I love wearing scarves. I wear them all the time. I really love wearing scarves, so I take full advantage during the cooler months. I mean, even sometimes that girl that people are like, it's really not cold enough for that girl to be wearing a scarf, but I don't care. I love wearing scarves. So that I run into that as my hair has gotten longer, or if I wear it down, that it does get knotted up kind of in this underneath section back here. The best way to prevent that on a very simple level would be to not do a lot of rubbing around like this when you're wearing a scarf, because that's just going to rub against the scarf part and then cause the hair to kind of knot up. It'll kind of be like it's back combing your hair inadvertently. But if you do, you know, if you're watching your kids play a game, or if you just have to move your head around a lot back, and continually running your fingers through your hair to kind of loosen up those knots so they don't get too deep as the day progresses, that will help you from having to deal with the rat's nest when you get home. And then kind of as a preventative measure for those of you with very fine hair, this happens kind of all the time whenever your hair gets past your shoulders, that it wants to knot up in the back. Use a little bit more conditioner than you would think, and maybe use the leave-in conditioner if you don't need it everywhere, just on that back section, because it's not going to matter. It's underneath your hair, and it's just a little bit more prone to locking up. So a good conditioner to help give a little bit of slickness to the outer part of your hair to keep it from wanting to knot will help you from running into more problems with getting perpetual knots at the nape area of your neck. The fourth question, it kind of is a multiple part question. A lot of people are asking how to keep my hair healthy and shiny and vibrant and all of that in the winter, because we miss sort of the brightening of the sun and everything just seems to get dull in the winter. So the best thing to do would be to bump up how often you do a deep conditioner. Maybe do it once a week if you need to. Most people, I think, would be fine doing it about 2 to 3 times a month. Another thing to add in would be a leave-in conditioner. I love the brand It's a 10. That's the brand. They make a leave-in conditioner called It's a 10 plus keratin. Keratin is the protein that makes up our hair. It's what adds strength and kind of durability to your hair. So if you use a leave-in conditioner with protein in it, it's going to help build and fill in the holes that are missing when you have a split end or excessive dry hair or anything like that. So adding one of those to your routine will help a lot. Doing a shine treatment, this could be an in-salon service, whether it's the same tone of your hair or something a little bit darker or a little bit warmer, anything like that. Your colorist can adjust based on your needs. But kind of adding shine in a service will help liven up your hair and give it a little bit more strength. And then every once in a while doing a clarifying treatment. Be wary of this if you've got colored hair, because clarifying treatments are a little bit more aggressive than typical shampoos. So this is something that you can either do at home or have done at the salon. But it just cleans your hair off a little bit more than normal shampoo and can sometimes pull a little bit of color out because it's just a little bit more aggressive. But if you do this maybe once a month to clean off any buildup and then follow with a deep conditioner, you'll really kind of clean your hair off of any impurities or any pollution or anything that we don't even think about that gets caught in our hair and dulls it out, and then kind of start you with a clean slate. So all of those things will help keep your hair in tip-top condition this winter. If you have any other questions, be sure to visit my FAQ page. Like I said earlier, a lot of you have asked questions that are already answered on there. So I try and provide a place with a lot of answers for you. So check those out so you're not left wondering. And then I will be back in January with another FAQ video. Thanks for watching.